Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, Made with Love. My name is Heather and today is Monday, December the 2nd of 2024. And so today will be day one of my 12 days of Christmas sewing. So I had, got all these ideas what I wanted to make, and then we're still, unpacking, and I'm moving everything around, and I'm trying to clear out the spare bedroom upstairs. So I don't have a lot of room up there. So I was bringing boxes back down to the basement. I had it all nice, organized. I knew where everything was. And I dumped out about 4 boxes. And then we also rearranged some stuff downstairs in the laundry room. We got a new utility rolling cart, like an island, actually it's a kitchen island cart, but I'm using it downstairs. So I've got like a nice tabletop to fold laundry on. And rearranging just everything down in the basement, and I lost the wires or the cords, whatever, for my sewing machine. So I really want to get this crafting done. So today is going to be a no-sew sewing project. I prefer to stitch when I'm making certain things, but today will be a glue gun instead, so easy for most people. I know there's a lot of people who don't really like to sew or don't really know how, but like I said, I did a little bit of sewing when I was in middle school, from grades 6 through 9. So you're talking like 1990 to 94, kind of in that range. So, and I hadn't really done a lot of sewing. And then when my first was born, I was expecting my second. I bought myself a sewing machine from Walmart for like $99, or it's either $89 or $99, whatever it was, just the most basic, cheapest sewing machine from Walmart. I got some cheap fabric from a secondhand store, and I just started, making stuff. Just trying to remember, and I do make a lot of mistakes, and I do need quite a few seam rippers, because I do find I do mess up, but it's just one of those things. I kind of teaching myself how to sew with my sewing machine. 2 years ago, I got myself a really good sewing machine. I don't know how half of it works. It came with a CD instruction booklet thing. I don't know where the CD is right now. I've never watched it. It does all these fancy stitches. It does like the embroidery stitches. And so I thought I would really like to learn to do that type of stuff. So, like I said, if you don't know how to sew, sewing is fairly easy. I mean, there's so many tutorials on YouTube and everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, every social media there is. Just type in how to sew, and you can find thousands of videos that teach you how to sew. Now, I'm not very good at it, but every time I, do a little project, I learn something new. So today, because I'm going to use my hot glue gun, I'm just going to use these little felt squares or felt swatches from the Dollarama. So $3 for 40 pieces, and there is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 colors. I always forgot, it was like 8 or 9 colors. So there's 9 colors, you get 5 squares of each. I don't know the size. I'm going to say it's about the size of my hand. So that's the size of the squares. And then just because I wanted to do some stuff, I brought up my cookie cutters. I could do this guy. I don't know. I think he's actually too big to fit on the one piece, or maybe he can just fit if I angle it right. I might be able to make one giant one, but I've got my other cookie cutters that I recently got. These from Winners or Marshalls. I can never remember which one. For $5.99 for the nice set of 6 Christmas cookie cutters. And then I also have my other cookie cutters that I've had over the years. So I've got this little gingerbread guy this size, and these little ones. This was one set. And then I've got some other little small pieces as well, just other shapes. So I'm just gonna make little tiny mini felt ornaments. So I've got all these shapes, and I got more shapes. So I got like 12 of these tiny little Christmas ones. There's an angel, Christmas tree, bell, some like holly leaves, just a candy cane, star, teddy bear, snowman, I don't know, some other little things. And then, because I have one dog, so I'm gonna also make a couple of the dog bone ones just because I think that will be fun. I also have behind me here this big duffel bag, has split pillows in it, so I'm gonna stuff these, so I'm just gonna use old pillow filling for stuffing them. So my first thing will be to get out my little table desk here, laptop tray, and I'm going to grab my scissors, which I think I left in the kitchen, and I have a pen, and so I'm just gonna open up this and figure out and decide what ornaments I'm gonna make. And then I realized I don't have any brown felt. I want to make some gingerbread men, and I don't have any brown. And I was just kind of going through all my material. I've got it all over there on the other side of me. So this is all the little bits of material that I was able to find while I was unpacking, and I do not have anything that would work for gingerbread guy, but I had a couple pieces of this sweatshirt type material. So I got this like more like a pink and gray, and then this other light gray. So I'm gonna make a couple gingerbread men. I mean, I know it's not the right, color, but just using what I have. I mean, I could always run out to the store and look for brown felt just to make a couple ornaments. So I decided I'm just gonna use what I have on hand. So I just gotta run and grab my scissors, and then I'll be right back. All right, I can't find my fabric scissors, so I'm just gonna use these regular ones. I'm just cutting felt, so it really matters. I mean, it's using your fabric scissors on paper or other things, but these are just basic craft scissors, and this is just felt. So I'm just gonna use what I have. Let's see, so I decided I'm gonna make a couple of these extra large gingerbread ones. So I'm just going to grab this material here, and I'm going to figure out how to fold this because it's cut into an odd shape. It's like not quite a triangle. I don't know. I'm just going to fold this in half. Okay, let's see how many big ones. I'm going to snip this off because I bought this last year. I got it for $2 from a secondhand store, and I haven't used it. Does it have a recipe? No, it doesn't have a recipe, but it just tells you how to clean the. So, too bad. I thought it had a recipe. Okay, so let's see. So my gingerbread are going to be a little bit more of like a pink color. Let's see if this pen will show up. Yeah, it's kind of showing up. I realize I'm on the front of the fabric. I should have been doing this on the wrong side. That's okay. Now I'll bone this color, so I'm just gonna trace out a few shapes on here. So I'm just gonna do a bone and a couple gingerbread. I'll just start with these two to start with. I'm just going to cut it out. So I got a little bone cut out. Now I wanted to add some detailing on this, so I just grabbed, oh, that's not the right one. I grabbed a container of beads. Let's see, what do I want to add here? I have these stone looking, let's see, how would that look? I think I like that, so I'm gonna take out a couple of these different stone, well that's actually an actual rock, that'll help. See, that's just too big. These came off of an old necklace, so I'm just deciding. I got these wooden ones. I like these big ones, they actually look like chunks of actual bone. So I'm gonna I will. They're the same. Is there a? Well, this one's a little smaller. That's what I wanted. I want to find one that was a little bit smaller. I'm going to stitch it on, but first I'm going to just. I guess I will make my little thing. Glue these together, right sides first. So that's why I prefer to stitch, just because hot glue is okay, but I love to stitch better. I just think it just looks neater when you stitch it, but those glued together. I've left a little spot open. Now I am going to just give these a few seconds, a few moments to cool down, and I will flip it right side. We'll try. Gotta get this extra glue off of here. This is why I prefer sewing. When I try to make these with the glue, it never works when I try to flip it out. When I try to flip it the right way, that's not gonna work. It doesn't even look like a bone now. I don't know what happened here. Let's see, oh, okay, there. Push this that way. Use the end of my scissors. Trying to get that a little more rounded. Yeah, see, it's not gonna. This does not work for me when I try to. This is why I don't do the gluing. When I try to do this, yeah, I'm just gonna flip it back this way. This bone's gonna be wrong sides out. That's okay. Just gonna put a little bit of glue here. I've left a little opening. I'm just gonna grab some of this pillow stuffing. And just shut. And I'm going to glue this little chunk of bone type. There's the first one. Okay, doesn't quite look the way I thought it would look, but you know, this is the thing with homemade crafts, is it's sometimes you just mess up. So I'm gonna do this gingerbread one next. I think this one will be a lot easier. It's larger to work with. Scissors just don't want to cut. I'm just going to try these little precision scissors and see if they cut better. Not really. Okay. Got this gingerbread one cut out. Now for this one, I am going to, I guess the one where I trace, that will be the back. So this will be the front. So I like to make him a face. So I've got beads here. I'm just going to see what I have. These little tiny wooden beads. Find two. Oh, I also have these little flat beads. Let's see. I've got these long beads. Finding more of these flat beads. Just bring it here so I can reach and I can see easier, so it's not like behind me. I have these little round beads. They've got the holes kind of off-center to each other because they were in like a macrame type thing. They kind of look like Smarties or Skittles. I think I'm just going to glue those on as buttons. I like that. And I've got a whole bunch of them so I can make a few different gingerbread people the same. But I'm trying to find another little round bead for the eyes. I'm trying to find the same size. I don't want the eyes to be two different sizes. Oh, there we go. I do have needle and thread, and I could stitch these on, but I think I'm just gonna glue these on. Look at that. So first I'm just gonna glue my little pieces here together. this arm isn't very round. It's kind of a little square looking, so I'm just gonna trim this up and make this arm a little more round. That looks a little bit better. Not like a square triangle thing. Same with this foot. He's got this. Make that a little more round. I'm gonna grab some of this polyfill or pillow stuffing and you don't want to push too tight because I just push my thumb right through there, so I'll have to re-glue that. A little more glue around his foot here so I can fill in this foot. Like I said, even though he's not the right color of a gingerbread, you know, you still tell that it's a gingerbread man. I'm just gonna stuff him a little more. Oops, I did the same thing. I just pushed too hard and just kind of pop the seam, kind of. Okay, I think he's got a good amount of stuffing in him. Just gonna glue him closed. I'm just going to add his eyes and the buttons. It looks like that so far, so I'll figure out what to do for a mouth and everything. I've got lace and rickrack and stuff, but I'm just going to go and cut out a few more shapes in the other felt, and then I will be back to kind of put all this stuff together. Right, I know the sun is just moved, so but I've been working for quite a while, and so what I did was I've got 2 styles of these little Christmas trees. So I cut out 3 double-sided pieces of each. I have the little holly leaf. So I cut out 4 of the double leaves for that. And I have the candy cane, and so I cut out 12 of the candy cane. Now for my candy cane, I did the red felt and a white felt on the back. And then I want to add stripes to my candy canes, but I wasn't quite sure how I was going to do it. But I've got all the little strip pieces here from when I cut out the candy canes. So I'm just going to cut these into smaller strips and add them to the candy canes if I think I need them. Now I did stitch a few ones. So I did one of the candy canes, so you can see, I just, I've got my embroidery floss, so I just back stitched that one. Same with the 2 holly leaves. I did 2 of these, and I just, again, just back stitched them to close them, put a little bit of the filler in, and then just finish sewing up the tops. And then I got the 2 Christmas trees. So this was the first one I did. It's just a little kind of crooked here. So just the basic, just stitching. I don't even know what the stitching is called. So I just did this one. Then I have this one here, and I actually did it in the blanket stitch. Looks a little bit neater. And then I did add a little bead to the top of this one and a string to hang it up. So I'm just gonna move out of the sun. It's not, just gonna, 1 second. Right, so the sun just really moved directions on me. So this is what I had so far. So like I said, I've got 2 trees stitched, 1 candy cane, and 2 little guys. This has already taken me to cut these pieces out and to stitch 5 of them has already taken me like 2 hours. So this is one of those ones, like I said, I'm just up here in the living room. I'm sitting on the couch with my animals. I'm just watching crafting videos on YouTube. But I just want to show you how I'm going to finish up this little girl gingerbread. I did get this one stuffed and glued together. So I'm just gonna grab my stuff because I moved. So now my stuff is over here. Oops. So that was the little guy I made. So I'd like to make a little girl. So I've cut out a piece of this glitter mesh tulle, and I've just folded it in half. So it's a little bit thicker and you can kind of see it better. And I'm going to scrunch this up into a skirt for her. So move this down. So I'm just going to move these things to the side here. So I got some room here. So I just folded this in half, and I'm just going to just kind of scrunch it up so I can kind of get a little skirt going for her. Decide which is the front and which is the back. And then, so I got it scrunched in the center, so I'm just going to move my hands down to the bottom, and then that's going to make it, more fuller at the bottom and tighter at the top. Now I'm just going to glue this across her stomach here, trying to keep as many of these little pleats as I think will look nice. And of course my glue gun is over the other spot. Just gonna put a strip of hot glue across. And I've got to remake her skirt because I dropped it when I walked over here. A few places where it needs to be just glued in place a little more. Now she's got her skirt, and then I had some, I had a couple packs of rickrack. Shoot. Everything was right here beside me, and I had it ready to do this, and then oh, there it is. It's under the the tin of beads. So I've got some rickrack here. So I've got, just grabbed a couple. So I got 2 that are white and 1 that is pink. Oh, I'm sitting on her. Okay. So because my gingerbread had this little bit of this pink color to it, I'm going to put the pink rickrack on her skirt. Like that. So I will glue that on her in a second. And then for her eyes, same thing. I've got the little beads to match his. And then I will just glue her eyes on and the little rickrack, and then I've got my little gingerbread boy and girl, but then they both still need faces. So, oops, there's the white one. I'm going to make them a face with the white rickrack. This one's a little bit thinner, so I think I'll do that. That will look kind of cute. And I might put some on his arms and legs. So I'm going to finish those. And I'm just going to continue stitching, you know, back stitching. I like the back stitching better than the other stitching. I also, when I did these ones, the trees, I just used regular thread. But when I was doing these other ones, I actually went and grabbed my floss, my cross-stitching embroidery floss, that's what it's called. So I'm just going to continue working on these, and I'll be back as I get, you know, more of this put together. All right, so I got the rest of these ones stitched and stuffed. So I got the 4 little holly leaves, and I got 2 more of the little candy canes. So I stitched these ones with the red floss, embroidery floss, that's what it's called. So I want to make half the candy canes red and the other half white. Just gotta remember which way I had stitched these. I think it was, yeah, this is the white one and this was the red one. And these are the other ones I had already done. So these ones I did with the back stitching. These ones here I did with the blanket stitching. And I kind of like the way the white looks better than the red with the blanket stitching going around the edge. And then these ones I did the back stitching, and I kind of like the back stitching with the red facing just because the white you can see any little mistakes that I've made. So I'm going to have those ones going that way. And then for the other Christmas trees, I just hot glued the 2 pieces together. I'm not going to stuff them. I'm just going to decorate them as little Christmas trees. So I got there's 4 of them, 2 in this design and 2 in this other design. And same with the other 8 candy canes. I just glued them together. It's taking me so long to do stitching today. My fingers just don't want to pull the needle through. So this is why I wanted to do this on my sewing machine. But so I just glued these together. So now I'm just going to move the camera down and just get ready to decorate these. So I'm just going to use hot glue. Oops, what am I want? Oh. Okay, so I just cut these into little strips. So I'm just gonna glue some red strips on the white candy canes, and then glue some white strips on the red candy canes. And then I will just trim off those extra pieces. It's just easier for me to make them in squares. And then my scissors. Scissors are sitting on the couch. Like I said, today I was just watching videos and movies, and I just thought, oh, it's nice when I want to do some hand sewing if I just sit on the couch and just do this on the couch. But see if I just cut them in squares, and then I can just trim the pieces off, and then it just looks so much neater. So I'm just going to do all the candy canes like that. Then I got the little trees, and I've got this white and pink rickrack that I had used on my little gingerbread people. So I'm just going to glue some of this on the trees. like that. So I'll be back when I get these pieces glued into place and show you what all the decorations. Alright, so I've got all the basic sewing and gluing done. Now I've got this stretchy jewelry cord, so I'm going to cut some pieces of this and I'm going to use this to make the hangers for my ornaments that I'm making here. I can just thread this back through here. Oops. I just need more light just where I am sitting to be able to see this. I'm just going to snip the end off. That might help easier. No. Just does not want to go through. Okay. There, I got it. So like I said, I made this one here and I already gave it a little hanger when I attached the bead. So I'm going to do the same to this other little tree here. I'm just going to pull this cord through. And I'm going to put this larger yellow bead on. I'd like to put the matching bead, but I just don't know where I put those other beads. So I'm just going to around and up through the bead another time and knot it off. I'll do it once more. Go up through the material, up through the bead. Try not to get the thread caught on everything. There we go. I'll just snip this little part here off. Decide how long of a hanger I need to be on here. That's about there. I'm just going to tie a knot up here. There we go. This one is done as well. Snip this extra little piece off. So I've got 2 of the Christmas trees finished. And now I gotta re-thread this needle. All I need is better light, but that's okay. So I think I will do the candy canes. So I will show, I've just hot glued some little stripes on some of them. So I've got some candy cane stripes that I just glued on. For this one, I think I'm gonna make these ones here into a garland. And I had some of these colored beads here that look like candy. So I'm going to start with a green one. And I'm going to put on my candy cane. And then I'll do another bead. Candy cane. I'm doing it upside down and backwards, so I had this pattern figured out, and now I just have to stop and figure out what I was doing. Green, blue, oh, purple, that would be the next one. I'm just going to string these on like a little garland. Okay, I just gotta rethread this, and I just got 2 more to stitch on here. But earlier today when I was downstairs looking for other things, I moved some stuff around, I found the wires for one of my sewing machines. So that means tomorrow when I go to do sewing, I'm actually going to be using my sewing machine, which will be nice. So the rest of the week for my sewing, I will be using my sewing machine. I'll say I'm not sure which wire I found, so I don't know which my machines I'll be using. Green, blue, or pink is the next one. So much faster when you can sew using the sewing machine. But there is this garland. I guess I can put one more bead on this end. So there's a yellow. There we go. So this little candy cane garland is made. And then just because I don't want to have to rethread this, I'm just going to just put all this stuff down. And I'm going to do the next ones, which will be these little trees. And these are the little trees that I just glued some of the rickrack on. And I have these other little beads I'm going to use as the star for them. So I'm going to we have some of these. Will these look as the tree trunks, or is that going to be too big? That might be too big. If I can find some smaller wooden beads that would work. There, if I could find 4 little wooden beads this size, then this will work. See what I got. I found 2, 3, and 4. That will work. So I'll put one bead on. So I'm going to make this kind of like a garland. Oh, excuse me. So I'll put the wooden bead on, and then I will put the tree on. Get this to go through here and come up the top of the tree. And I'll put one of these little beads on like a star. So it'll look like this. Oops, there's the bead there. Little wooden bead Christmas tree and the star for all of these. So little wooden bead. I'm trying to pull this needle through here. And the last one. So now I've got this little mini garland of trees that goes up and down. And I think that's all I'm going to put on here. These other ones, I've got another idea for these ones, for something else I'd like to do with them. So I'm just going to set this aside and I will deal with those ones in a minute. Now I've got these ones here, these holly leaves, and then I had these red flat beads, so I glued 3 of the flat beads together to make it look like a group of holly berries. And so now I'm just going to glue these leaves together and then attach the little berries like that. And then I'm just going to make a little thread hanger to hang those on the tree. And then same with these. I'm just going to make a little thread hanger and hang those on the tree. So I will be back when I get all this stuff kind of spaced out properly. So all the ornaments are made. So like I said, I got this long garland with the 4 Christmas trees. Got this other little garland here with the candy canes. Then I've got 2 Christmas trees, 2 candy canes, and 2 little holly berries that are just going to be standalone on their own just to hang in the tree. Then there's this little bone one that I made, and I got this little ribbon. Well, 2 of my cookie cutters had the tags on them, and each one had a different color of ribbon. So I attached the red ribbon to this dog. And then I'm just going to move these out because we've got the last 2 to finish. And that is the giant gingerbread little boy and girl. Set these aside, so bring them back in here. And like I said, I get that, got the green bow, so I guess she gets the green bow. I don't know if I really like it in her hair. I think I'm just going to stick it down here on her dress. I think it looks so much cuter. It's just so big. If her eyes were a little bit, if her eyes were further down, that would work. But because of where I put her eyes, I just don't think that's going to quite work. So I'm going to just stick it down here on her dress. I think it's going to look kind of cute. Just to the side of her dress. And then I have these little candy canes, which I thought turned out like the best of all the ones I made. So I'm gonna give them each a little candy cane. Too bad I can't do it with the heart. I guess I could. Maybe I will. Just gotta turn this towards me so I can make sure I get these lined up right. See which one looks the best on the red. They both look good on white. So let's see. That's what I will do. I'm just going to glue these two candy canes together so they will form a heart. That, and then I will glue on their arms. Gonna get the glue off my finger so I'm not sticking to everything. There, look at that. Then I will stitch these together just because I think the little bit of the glue is not going to be strong enough, but that is so cute. So I like all the ornaments I've made today. So I'm just gonna go hang them on my tree and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, so I just put the little boy and girl up here on the mantle. Just gonna move this snowflake up. Just gonna get them to stand up a little bit straighter now. There we go. Oops. Put them in there. And then all the other ones are just kind of in my tree. Oops. Can't really see that one. Kind of flipped around. They're all hanging on the tree. As I go down, you might be able to see them. And all the other things I made in the last, I don't know, 13 days. All the other ornaments that I've been making. Okay, so again, I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's subscribing to my channels and watching my videos, and I'll see you in the next ones. Bye.